If you've ever thought about getting into the life insurance industry, the thing that you want to do is you want to make sure first that you're with a company that has great leadership. Xperia checks that box. You also want to make sure that the company is transparent and that the fabric of the company is about the people, all of the people. Xperia checks that box. Then you want to get into ownership. You have true ownership at Xperia. And if you don't know what that means you get to own your book of business.
All right, y'all, here we go. We're back with another amazing episode of
Insurance Bros.
Woo! I'm your co-host, Eric Robinson, a.k.a. The Soul Motivator. And I got my co-host right here.
Jacques Vaughn, a.k.a. Uncle Jacques.
Uncle Jacques, man, let's talk about this. Oh, we got a scorcher. This is part 2. So you haven't seen part 1. You want to go over it right now. Click on the button, stop, and go watch part 1.
Yes.
Yeah, go watch part 1. But we're talking about this natural disasters, right? And when we talk about natural disasters, Uncle Jacques, you know, why are we bringing this up? Because there's something hitting the Florida that's down South Panhandle. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. In the last couple weeks, they have been devastated by Hurricane Helene. Some people say Helena, but I think it's Helene, and Hurricane Milt. And what they were talking about is how the resources and the manpower, like people were getting worn out. And after Helene, just getting the manpower to step up for this Milton situation, they were low on resources, low on manpower.
Yeah. You know, when you talk about manpower, it takes a toll, right? Because you're out there working and going, and sometimes it's not so much you can do, but then the mental part of it too. You're seeing people being devastated.
Right.
I can only imagine what that's like. And I thank God every day that I'm not in that situation. But it's so easy, you know, Jacques, to sit back on the sideline and kind of comment, you know, whether the government's doing the right thing, local doing the right thing. Should they evacuate? I've seen people get upset when people talking about, I'm not going to evacuate. Let's talk about, you know, we touched on that a little bit before, but just that leaving your life behind. You know, I know you said some experiences talking to people, but I can only imagine what that's like.
Yeah, you know, think about folks that have been through storms before.
Yeah.
They've been residents in Florida for 10, 20, 30 plus years.
So this is not their first storm.
Right. It's not their first rodeo. So you got to realize some people, they've heard, you know, they got in their mind, heard it all before. And so they think a storm is a storm is a storm is a storm, right? So what happens is when you've heard that before, and you prepared and you've done enough where you probably boarded your house up and you may have experienced some electrical outages or whatever, you start to think it's just another storm.
Yeah.
We've been through it before. But when you start seeing them categorize it as category 5?
It was a 5. It went to 5. They said it went to 5 real quick.
Right.
Now, by the time it got to land, I think the downfall to a 3. But I've seen people talk about recently the ports was closing in the DMV. It's like, man, they got a strike on the ports, right? In the Baltimore ports. And people went bananas. You couldn't find toilet paper nowhere. I don't know why. It's like toilet paper was gone. And I'm sorry, I was people.
And the toilet paper ain't even nothing that's boarding through the ports.
It's not even imported. I looked at my toilet paper like, dang, this stuff came from the United States. It's not imported. I didn't get the good imported toilet paper. Maybe I need to step my game up. But it's all gone. I'm like, wow. And I was one of them, Jacques. I went to 6, 7 stores, man. I was at all the box stores. I remember my thing called somebody, hey, yo, I got some toilet paper. You want me to buy you some toilet paper? Man, I felt like I was a toilet paper hustler. But I was giving it away for free, though.
But let me ask you this. If you had a storm coming your way, we live in Maryland.
Yeah.
So if somebody says, hey, evacuate, would you take it serious? Would you see? Because that's what happens. Some people are like, I'm not leaving. You know, I got my whole life here. My family's here. Some people had land. Some people had cattle. Some people had other livestock.
Yeah, you know, that's a big piece. Now, I want to talk about this Insurance Bros from a different aspect. We always talk about the products, right? Let's talk about what we do from an occupation standpoint.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, their businesses are affected.
Right.
And maybe they got insurance, maybe they don't. But sometimes the business owner may have his business insured, but you as the employee, you don't now. There's a lot of jobs lost. COVID, a lot of people lost their jobs during COVID. It was shut down.
Right.
A lot of jobs never came back. You know, one of the things when we talk about life insurance job, let's talk about this business. Our company, we are both executive directors with the Xperia Financial Group. So we are both starting our own agencies.
Right.
Right. In a relatively short time, you've built a 7-figure business that's generating generating you 6 figures of personal income, and you got multiple 6-figure earners who are personal income, but building $1 million business in about 3 years. Let's talk about the opportunity that you have now to if a disaster hits one section,
right,
does your income stop? One section of the country.
And you're asking me personally.
I'm asking you personally. Uncle Jacques, we're going to ask Uncle Jacques. We're going to get in his business today, right?
So if a storm hit Miami like it did, does it affect my income? Is that what you asked me?
Yeah. Does your income stop?
No, my income doesn't stop.
Why not?
Because my income is set up where, let's look at it almost like, let's say 7-Eleven, a store.
Okay.
7-Elevens are all over the country.
Yeah.
So we can agree that those are like distribution centers.
Correct.
So I have multiple distribution centers set up all over the country. So if something happened in one place, it's okay because I still have other distribution centers and I'm still adding on at distribution centers all over the country.
So your income is diversified.
Yes.
What they would say. You're diversifying your portfolio. So see, that's one of the things, Jacques, I talk to people about. People, even with your jobs, like your income is linear, it's just from one source.
Right.
You don't have no diversification in your income. And I'm telling y'all, in today's economy, they always say you should have multiple streams of income.
Right.
But in today's economy, you need to have something diversified. Like I've seen people say, okay, well, Eric, I got this and I got this and I'm running from home, but it's just you. What happens with something, if you get sick, what happens to your income when it's just you as a sole operator? See, people, they don't want to address that part, Jacques, because see, a lot of entrepreneurs are really self-employed. I think it's the statistics say something like 95% of most entrepreneurs, most business owners are self-employed. They're the sole employee.
So it's just them.
So it's just them. They have nobody else helping them generate revenue. Like I got my landscaping company. It's just me. Maybe every now and then I go get some day workers or have some people help me out, but it's me doing everything, right?
Okay.
So if something happens to me, if I get run over by a lawn, my business stops. My landscaper, the other day he said, I said, what happened? I haven't seen you for a month. He said, I hurt myself. So his business stopped. He does a lot of houses. Like I'm out there, I got to find a new, either I'm going to do it myself or I got to find a new guy. And I'm like, why are you out here working with your hand all cut off? He's like, I got to, because I need to make money. He had to take off for about a month. Now he needs to make the money and he doesn't want to lose his clients because they don't want to cut their grass. They're going to go find somebody else to do it while he's sick. And he may not never get that client back. It's all on him.
So let me ask you this. Well, let's talk about it. Can I paint a picture of kind of like what we do? So for the most part, let's just say, even if you have the folks, so what we were talking about is somebody or that's been affected by a disaster. And let's say that a business owner got hit in a certain area, region where it totally wiped out the business. That business owner, for the most part, is out of business and can't generate any other income.
That is correct.
Not at that time.
Not right
if
now.
let's say if you're a body shop, or let's say if you're a dentist office or what have you, right? So let's look at this picture. If you're a mechanic, and just like your guy, the lawn guy, if you're a mechanic, every time you work on a car, you get what?
You get paid.
You get paid.
Yeah.
You don't work on a car, you don't what?
You don't get paid. Not my mechanic. At least he ain't getting paid from me.
So a mechanic, if a mechanic's not working on a car, because once he works on that car, it's not like it's a one and done.
Yeah.
Work on the car, done.
Get paid. Yep. One stop.
So let's look at it like this. What if you had the skills of being a mechanic, but what if you bought a building and opened up a shop, right?
Yeah.
And let's say if you opened up a shop and you might have 20 bays in it. So you got 20 mechanics. Would you rather be a mechanic, a skilled master mechanic that could work on a car and got paid every time you worked on a car? Or you open the shop up, and remember, this is one shop that you open. You have the chance to open up shops all over. But what if you could get paid off of those 20 mechanics servicing cars all day? You get a little piece off of everything in that shop.
I'm tracking, Jacques. I'm tracking. I would like to get paid off of all that labor, right? That's just me personally.
And you still get to get paid on your personal labor.
And I still get to pay my personal. Oh, sign me up. I got to go find a shop. Now I got to go find me a shop, and that's going to get a little bit expensive, though. I got to buy the lifts and everything and all the tools.
That equipment is going to cost you.
The building is going to cost me. Oh, man.
But what if I told you we have an opportunity where you don't have to buy equipment, you don't have to pay for utilities, you don't have to pay for phone service, none of that. It's all done for you, and it's pretty much a plug and play system.
Sign me up.
And
Can I make money doing it?
That's what I was getting ready to tell you. You have the opportunity to potentially make brain surgeon Dr. lawyer money.
Is it legal? Sign me up.
Absolutely.
You got some
it's
people
legal.
saying, even if it ain't legal, sign me up. I'm just saying, but it almost sounds too good to be true, Uncle Jacques.
Well, the funny thing about information is most information that people don't have, when it comes across their desk, it always more than likely is going to seem like it's too good to be true, because most people think
That's
that
facts.
they're pretty smart, and most people think that they've heard it all.
Yeah. Heard it all before. But that's so true, because they're thinking, if it was so good, how come I haven't heard it?
Exactly.
Because I'm smart, I've seen it, been there. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. The financial service and insurance industry is a $3.5 trillion industry. Look that up. 3.5 trillion with the T. I'm gonna give y'all an assignment. Go Google what industry creates the most millionaires.
So we can tell them to push pause right here,
Push pause.
and then come back and let us know what you found out.
All right, y'all back. So, what did you find out?
I Googled it.
You Googled it?
And it was financial services, life insurance.
I didn't know until somebody told me about that. I was already in the industry, and I was like, man, if I would have known this, I would have gotten in so much earlier. So, Uncle Jacques, real quick, what should they be doing? Somebody saying, hey, can I do what y'all doing, right?
All they got to do, we're going to leave some information. Get in touch with us. We're going to leave a link below. Get in touch with us.
You
Hey,
see
let's
the
have a
link right
conversation.
there? You see the link over there? Look, I'm pointing at my crotch. Like,
Just look for the
just
link.
look for the link. It's going to be in the description.
Right.
Right. The link in the bio. Reach out to us. So here's the thing. Let's get together. Let's connect, because, Jacques, we can do this on a spare time, part-time basis.
Yes.
We got people on a spare time, part-time, who are helping 2 to 3 families a month can make an extra $24,000 a year.
Yep. And we have some people that find their way a lot quicker. We've got some people spare time that's doing $5,000, $10,000 a month in their spare time.
Then we got some full-time people, Jacques, who's doing multiple six figures. And we just had a gentleman in our organization, a company, just cross over $1 million in income. Now, he's not the first person in this industry to do that. He just did that with our company, with Xperia.
Right.
We're just launching here. Let's talk about Xperia real quick over the next couple of minutes. Xperia is really changing the game.
Yes.
I think we was blessed to be introduced to this company, not because of our skills in insurance. It just, I don't know. I think we put a lot of work in throughout life.
Right.
And God just happened to say, hey, here's y'all opportunity for all the hard work y'all have done. Because me and Jacques been coaching and mentoring entrepreneurs for over 13, 14, 15 years now.
Facts.
And we did that for free, like no charge. Y'all are getting this game for free. Y'all ain't paying us for this.
Right.
So we've been doing this every day with our coaching and mentoring calls. And so I think God just rewarded us and say, here's this company. I need y'all to help launch it. But talk about some of the things that Xperia is doing that no other insurance companies are doing out there right now, and why they should connect with us with this particular company.
So here's the deal. If you've ever thought about getting into the life insurance industry, the thing that you want to do is you want to make sure first that you're with a company that has great leadership. Xperia checks that box. You also want to make sure that the company is transparent and that the fabric of the company is about the people, all of the people. Xperia checks that box. Then you want to get into ownership. You have true ownership at Xperia. And if you don't know what that means you get to own your book of business, but we can talk about what that means a little later when you talk to us. But you own your business. Then you get an opportunity to not just be an owner of your business, but to become part owner, an equity shareholder of the company.
Hold on, Jacques. So I hear you saying all these things, the opportunities to get to do this, the opportunities to do that. Are you a part owner of Xperia? Because a lot of times people talk these games and it sounds good. They just, yeah. You're hearing these stats.
That's true.
Are you an owner and own your book of business, equity owner in Xperia?
Great question. I didn't see that coming, but yes, I am. I'm an equity shareholder, so part owner of Xperia Financial Group. And it's not stocks that we're talking about. We're not talking about stocks, stock options. We're talking about equity shareholders owning some shares of the company.
It's funny because you own shares in this company that's going to be the next billion-dollar company in the insurance industry. Xperia is changing the game. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we can teach you. Here's the cool thing I like about it, what Xperia does, is 3 categories when I look at agents of what falls under from life insurance. We do life insurance, annuities, and investments. But it's typically 3 categories of people who join.
Right.
Of people who get started. One is the person who's new, like we were. See, my saying is everybody get a green sheet. Y'all want to see my shirt? Everybody get a green sheet. That's our slogan. It's on the back of your hoodie.
Yes.
Right? So new people, they call them greens, right? Brand new person, new to the industry. We can help them with Xperia, and we compensate them usually 2 to 3 times higher than the industry does with this type of model. Most of our competitors with this model, we pay our brand new persons 2 to 3 times more. That's a game changer. That alone is enough. So we can take a brand new person and bring them along. The second person I find, Jacques, is a licensed agent. Somebody's already experienced. You know, we got people on our team, and you have many people on your team as well, who come in with 5, 10, 15, 20 years experience as an insurance producer.
Right.
And they come over here and realize they can get compensated way more, have access to over 40 plus carriers. So they're not captive, meaning like some of these companies, for example, like I say, Allstate or State Farm agent, they can only sell Allstate or State Farm.
Right.
We have over 40 major companies, like, you know, Nationwide is on your side. Aflac, that little duck, Aflac. We got Aflac. Companies like Ethos. So we got access to some of these companies, Transamerica, you know, Lincoln Financial, National Life Group, Forces Financial. You name it, we got access to over 40 different products, so we don't have to force anybody to buy anything. So a licensed, experienced agent, they love us.
Yes.
Now they can get compensated more than what they was doing on their own.
Well, look at this. Also, people are loving this Xperia model because, like you said, our compensation level is higher than most of these companies. So what's that mean? If Eric is with another company and say he sits at the highest position and he might have 100 agents, if he's only at 60% commission and they're at 40% commission, right? Here's what people love. Eric can come over here to Xperia, get a raise, and bring his whole team over, and they can get a raise as well. And it's because Xperia has such high comp levels.
That's big, John. That's the
a
third
game
one.
changer.
We can bring over new people, licensed, experienced agents, and a whole team.
Yes.
We can be a whole team. And you know, Jacques, I talk to people who got teams, and usually they're like, well, how can y'all do that? They would rather limit their team, let their team get 20 to 30% commission, and talk about, well, how do y'all do that? And I'm like, are you a leader, a real leader? Because a real leader is looking out for their team.
Yes.
And so many of them don't want to look out for their team because they're like, well, you know,
Because they just want to eat.
they just want to eat. Well, I don't know about this. I'm like, you know what? But their team is always turning over. They lose about 30 to 40% of their team every year. We don't get a lot of turnover because people come over here. It's like, hey, I get to own my client base. I own my business. I can get part of the company and I get a higher compensation. It's like the entrepreneur's dream. We call this like the entrepreneur's dream. And we can teach you how to do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what we're saying is if you are somebody that's looking for an opportunity, or if you know somebody that's looking for an opportunity, if you got any grown children that are looking for income opportunities, I'm trying to tell you, this life insurance industry is an industry that was kept away from a lot of folks.
Jacques, I got both of my grown children who are generating revenue, who are in this business. You know, they got a group called the Young Money Leaders.
Yes.
And y'all can kind of look them up. You want to go look up, you can look up my son. He's Isaiah Off the Field, OFFDA. Field with Isaiah on YouTube. Look at his videos. Look at his Instagram. Off the Field with Isaiah Robinson. He has videos, and he got professional athletes, coaches, you name it, entrepreneurs. He talks to them, but he's growing that Young Money Leaders.
Yes.
So
yes.
I know, I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you. I know you're telling people who to come to.
No, I was just basically saying, if y'all know somebody that falls in that bracket and they want to be able to make some full-time income, working spare time or part-time, and you get to set your own hours, and as long as you know how to work a mobile device, whether it's a cell phone or a computer or both, we got something for you.
We got something for y'all. Hit us up. Let's go. I'm telling you, don't sit back.
So we'll talk to y'all in the next episode of Insurance Bros.
We out.
Peace.